It all kicked off on a typical Tuesday evening. My wife, Sarah, and I decided to jazz up our mundane routine with a game night. Little did I know, I was about to become the unwitting star of a hilariously misconstrued drama. As we gathered for a game of charades, I could sense a peculiar tension in the air. Sarah's competitive streak was in overdrive, and her gaze felt more scrutinizing than usual. Little did I know, she had suspicions of infidelity brewing in her mind, all thanks to a series of innocent misunderstandings. The charades began innocently enough. I attempted to mime penguin with all the finesse of a drunken walrus on ice, and Sarah guessed with wild abandon. Laughter filled the room as we stumbled through the game. But as the rounds progressed, Sarah's suspicions reached a fever pitch. Every innocent gesture, every awkward mime, was perceived as evidence of my supposed betrayal. When I tried to convey secret agent, she saw covert affairs and clandestine meetings. Business trip became synonymous with hotel rendezvous, and loyalty was nothing but a cruel joke. In a fit of frustration, Sarah accused me of infidelity, citing my abysmal charade skills as damning evidence. I was left speechless, watching her storm out of the room, leaving behind a shattered game and a bewildered husband. It wasn't until later, amidst tears of laughter and heartfelt apologies, that we unraveled the tangled web of misunderstandings. Through the chaos, we learned a valuable lesson: communication is key, and assumptions are the real enemy. So here's to the comedy of errors that is marriage, where every misstep is a chance for laughter, and every misunderstanding is an opportunity for growth. And in the game of love, may our charades skills improve, but our bond remain unshakable. Cheers to that. It was just another cozy Tuesday evening, and John and I decided to inject some fun into our routine with a game of charades. Little did I know, I was about to be swept up in a whirlwind of confusion and laughter. As we gathered around the coffee table, I could sense the competitive twinkle in John's eye. With each exaggerated gesture, he seemed determined to outdo himself. Little did he know, his antics would lead us down a path of misinterpretation and mistaken intentions. The game started off smoothly enough. John attempted to convey elephant with all the grace of a bull in a china shop, while I guessed with the enthusiasm of a detective on the case. But as the rounds progressed, a cloud of uncertainty descended upon us. John's gestures grew wilder, and I couldn't help but feel a nagging sense of confusion creeping in. With each failed attempt, my suspicions began to take root. Secret rendezvous became synonymous with business trip, and undercover spy morphed into late-night rendezvous. In a whirlwind of misunderstanding, my misinterpretations culminated in a flurry of accusations, casting a shadow over our once joyful game night. I stormed out in frustration, leaving behind a room filled with laughter and bewilderment. It wasn't until later, amidst tears of laughter and heartfelt apologies, that John and I untangled the web of misunderstandings. Through a series of missteps and miscommunications, we discovered the truth hidden beneath layers of confusion. And so, in the aftermath of our charade debacle, we learned a valuable lesson about the importance of clear communication and the dangers of jumping to conclusions in the heat of the moment. Here's to the laughter that springs from misunderstanding, the forgiveness that follows in its wake, and the enduring bond that holds us together through the ups and downs of married life. Cheers to love, laughter, and the occasional charade-induced calamity. Picture this. A sunny afternoon, and my girlfriend, let's call her Lily, and I decided to take a stroll in the park. Little did I know, I was about to witness a scene straight out of a sitcom. As we meandered along the path, enjoying the crisp autumn air, we stumbled upon a familiar face, a guy from Lily's yoga class, who I'd only heard about in passing. Cue the awkward introductions and forced small talk. Now, in my infinite wisdom, or so I thought, I decided to play it cool. But alas, my attempt at nonchalance backfired spectacularly. As the conversation flowed, I couldn't help but notice the subtle glances exchanged between Lily and the yoga guy. My mind, always ready to jump to conclusions, immediately went into overdrive. Before I knew it, I was concocting elaborate scenarios of secret trysts and clandestine rendezvous, all within the span of a casual park encounter. I mean, who wouldn't, right? In a fit of paranoia, I began to pepper the conversation with thinly veiled references to fidelity and commitment, all while trying and failing miserably to maintain an air of casual indifference. To her credit, Lily tried her best to diffuse the situation, but my overactive imagination was having none of it. I was convinced that I'd stumbled upon the scandal of the century, right there in the park. As we bid adieu to the yoga guy and continued our stroll, Lily couldn't contain her laughter. And that's when it hit me, the punchline to this absurd comedy of errors. Turns out, the yoga guy was nothing more than a harmless acquaintance, and my overzealous detective work had all been for naught. The real kicker? Lily had been trying to set him up with her friend, not plotting a rendezvous of her own. In the end, we laughed until tears streamed down our faces, reveling in the absurdity of it all. And as we walked hand in hand, I realized that sometimes the greatest comedy is found in the moments when we take ourselves too seriously. So here's to Lily, the unwitting star of my hilarious misadventure, and to the countless laughs that still echo through the park to this day. Prepare yourselves, dear Redditors, for a tale that blends the spine-tingling chill of horror with the absurd hilarity of everyday life. This is the legend of the haunted microwave. It all began on a stormy night in a quaint little apartment tucked away in the heart of the city. Our protagonist, let's call him Alex, was a humble bachelor who prided himself on his culinary prowess, especially when it came to late-night snacks. One fateful evening, as Alex stumbled bleary-eyed into the kitchen, he encountered a sight that would chill him to the bone: his microwave, emitting an otherworldly glow and emitting a series of eerie beeps that seemed to defy all logic. Now, being the rational soul that he was, Alex did what any self-respecting individual would do in such a situation. He promptly pressed the stop button and chalked it up to a glitch in the matrix. Little did he know, he was about to embark on a journey into the heart of darkness. Night after night, the microwave continued its spectral symphony, beeping at odd hours and defying all attempts at rational explanation. Alex tried everything, resetting the clock, unplugging and replugging, even resorting to the age-old tactic of giving it a good smack. But alas, the haunted microwave refused to be tamed. Its beeps grew louder, its glow more ominous, until it seemed to cast a shadow over Alex's very soul. As the days turned into weeks, Alex's sanity began to fray at the edges. He found himself haunted by visions of microwavable horrors lurking in the depths of the appliance, waiting to pounce at the slightest provocation. And then, one fateful night, as the clock struck midnight and the winds howled outside, the microwave emitted a final, resounding beep and promptly went silent, as if nothing had ever happened. In the silence that followed, Alex stood there, blinking in disbelief, wondering if he had just witnessed a glitch in the matrix or a cosmic joke played by forces beyond his comprehension. But one thing was for certain from that day forward: Alex never looked at his microwave the same way again. And as for the haunted appliance itself, well, let's just say it found a new home in the annals of urban legend, where its beeps continue to echo through the corridors of time. So here's to Alex, the unwitting hero of our spooky saga, and to the countless souls who have faced the horrors of the haunted microwave. May your snacks be warm and your appliances free of spectral shenanigans.